Well, I was born to two drug addicts. My mother she used meth for about 35 years. My dad smoked marijuana and he drank. And around 3 years old, my mom sold his tools for drugs. So he had to sell the house and he gave her half the money. And he said, just take care of the kids. And he went to find a job. And when he came back, he found me naked and dirty and hungry, living in a tire in the front yard. So the next morning he came back and he stole us. I've seen abuse my whole life, physical, sexual, and verbal abuse. We were really poor, so my dad would if I was lucky, he'd give me 25 cents so I'd get a Debbie cake from the store down the street so I could eat. Most time I didn't get to eat. And my dad was angry because he had abuse happen to him when he was a child. So he was very angry. He kicked a bucket one time and it hit me in the nose and broke my nose, and I ran to the neighbor because blood was gushing out of my nose. And 2 weeks before Christmas, we got kicked out of the house, so we had to go live with Grandpa. And Grandpa molested me around 7 years old. I didn't tell anybody until I was about 14. And then 14 is when I started using drugs. I smoked marijuana with my mom, and then I smoked meth with my daughter's dad. At 15, I had a child who was disabled. She has cerebral palsy and was partially deaf in both ears. And around 22, I got married. 5 days after I got married, my daughter got molested. And I went to a deep state of depression. And then around 25, I lost custody of my daughter. And my mom died from lung cancer. And that's whenever my addiction really took hold of me. I started to shoot up, and I was using heavy drugs about every week. I became an exotic dancer. And I got custody of my daughter back, but I was still using heavy drugs, so I lost custody of her again. And I was at my friend's house, and we were about to shoot up. She was going to teach me how to do it myself. And her and her dad got into an argument, and I jumped out of her window, and I ran to the end of the ranch, and I dumped out the bag of meth that she had given me, and I started praying. I started praying for God. I can't do this anymore. God, please just tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. And he said, get a hold of your Aunt Marilyn. And I messaged my Aunt Marilyn, and I said, I don't know how you got clean, Aunt Marilyn, but I want to get clean too. And she said, I can't really help you, but I have a friend in Jackson. She'll help you if you're willing to get help. And I said, I'm ready. I'm willing. She called Miss Gail from the Dream Center of Jackson. And Miss Gail asked me a few questions, and she prayed with me. And from that moment on, it changed my life forever. I found God. I have an intimate relationship with the Lord. I have accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I've been baptized by water. I found my home. I found my family. And God has taken me on this journey with Him, and I wouldn't give it up for anything in the world. I have had spiritual healing from abuse from my grandfather, from abuse from my dad, from neglect from my mother. And I have a really good job. I have a brand new car, and God has just blessed me. And I wish that everyone could get this kind of blessing from the Lord.